podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.
Hello everyone and welcome to How Are The Podcast. It's Gav and you join us for another pod this fine, lovely Wednesday morning as we're here to chat about something a little bit different, because whilst we're still going to talk about football and Sunderland AFC, we're also going to go into some of the other bits going on around the city, because Sunderland is on the up, not just the football club but the city as well. And Andrew Smithson's with us. Hello mate.
Hello, morning Gav. This is going to be fun, I think. Right up my street, this one.
This is. I was just thinking before, me and you on this iteration of the pod, we've never sat together, never sat in on one, have we? You've been doing all of the on this week pods with Kelvin, Andrew, and Martin, but we've never got together on one of these.
No, I'll sometimes bump into you on the seafront walking the dog, and that's about it.
I know. I seem to see you everywhere, other than on podcasts. It's weird, isn't it? How are you enjoying those on this week pods? Anyways, I've been singing their praises on this feed for the last few weeks. I love listening in.
Yeah, they're brilliant. I mean, the three lads who were on with us, just it's great to catch up with them, and we always have a bit of a laugh. But yeah, good fun. Really enjoying them. Worth listening to if you get. I was going to say spare hour, but sometimes they run over to 2 hours. So if you've got a spare morning, worth listening in.
Absolutely, and it's all about Sunderland history, isn't it? Which is the main thing. And I've learned a lot from just listening to you lads crack on, particularly Kelvin, who has the most photographic memory of everything that's ever happened from about 1960 onwards.
I know, he's
he remembers
brilliant.
every detail of every game.
He's brilliant. He's a lovely fella, and like you say, it's all old Sunderland AFC stories. It's good fun.
Yes. Also with us today, we have a man who's a massive lads fan. He is the ward councillor for Copt Hill of Sunderland City Council. Councillor Kevin Johnston's with us. Hello, mate.
Hello, good to be here. Yeah, thank you for the invite to come along.
Yeah, it's like I say, it's a different one for us, this, because obviously I just said you're a massive Sunderland fan, but you're also a ward councillor for Sunderland City Council. That must be the dream job, is it? Getting to live in the city of Sunderland, work in the city of Sunderland, represent the people of the city of Sunderland.
It's been absolutely amazing. Obviously, I first got elected in 2016 in the Copt Hill ward, but for the last since 2021, I've been the portfolio holder for housing regeneration of business, which is sort of, I've been right at the forefront of everything that's going on in terms of the regeneration right across the city centre, Riverside, Sunderland. So it's been absolutely amazing to be part of that and to hold the portfolio and be leading on that on behalf of the city. So yeah, it's really exciting times, and it's great that we can sort of link up the fortunes of the football club with that victory at Wembley on the 24th of May, with everything that's going on in Sunderland as well, and just that focus that it'll bring in terms of being a Premier League club again is just massive for the momentum in terms of what we're trying to do as a city council and business investing in things as well.
Where does your Sunderland story start? And where I said you're a massive lads fan. Is it literally from birth were you a Sunderland fan?
My dad was obviously a massive Sunderland fan, so growing up there wasn't going to be any other choice but to be a Sunderland supporter. My earliest memories is probably the 1992 Cup final against Liverpool. Obviously too young to go to the matches then, but I remember obviously seeing the games on the telly. And then my first game was actually 1993, was Gary Bennett's testimonial at Roker Park, where we played Glasgow Rangers.
That not scare you off then?
Well, I remember being in Sunderland City Centre during the day, and there was just Rangers fans everywhere. And I remember saying to my mum, just saying how they're all going to get in the ground because we're at home. But when we got to the stadium on the night, they had two stands, didn't they? The Roker end and the clock stand. So it was, it was a bit of an eye opener for me first game at Roker Park. But I think when you first walk out at that full end, and you see the pitch, and you see the stadium, you can't help but you just fall in love, don't you, straight away. So that was me hooked from that moment on. We went to the games early 90s. We never had season cards, but we had something which was called a gold card. I don't know if you remember those. It was sort of below season ticket holders, wasn't it? We had a gold card membership. So me and my dad would go to the games up until obviously to the stadium like opened. Really, that was my first season ticket that season.
Yeah, Andrew, do you remember that game against Rangers, or was that a bit too early for you?
No, I was similar to Kevin there. It was a pretty wild day in and around the streets of Sunderland. They brought thousands down. It was, it kind of shows though, doesn't it? how a football team can bring people into the city. You've got all of these people coming along. They're all going to want to go into the shops and the pubs and the restaurants. Just think maybe on that day it was a little bit...
Too many.
Yeah. A couple of shops maybe were a little bit panicked by the numbers.
I think my obviously going fast forward a little bit to obviously now, it'll be great the reaction those Premier League clubs are coming back to the city now. We haven't been here for the last 8 seasons in the playoffs again, and their sort of fans' reaction to how the transformation of the city's taking place. So that'd be great to try and capture some of that feedback as well.
A completely different place to when we were last in the Premier League. So there's going to be all these new eyes on us, either away fans or the different, the increased media. You're going to have all these new TV companies landing in Sunderland. They're going to take one look around and think, flipping heck, this is a new place. Chalk and cheese compared to before.
And before that, we've got the Women's Rugby World Cup, which is the opening ceremony is at the Stadium of Light on the 22nd of August. So there'll be a lot of focus worldwide for that as well. The USA will be bringing fans over and things as well. So
it's something I said the other week is like, because it's funny, just before we started recording this, I had 5 minutes, so I opened YouTube as you do, and the first video which flashed up was the 3-0 win over Everton under Sam Allardyce when we relegated Newcastle, and I clicked on that, and I'm looking, and it was showing you all the teams and stuff, and Everton had Johnston and Romelu Lukaku in the team. I'm like, bloody, it's been ages since we were in the Premier League. And that was 9 years ago. That and then obviously we had the following season and got relegated. But it's something I've been talking about on the pod in recent weeks. Is that when these fans come back to Sunderland, they're not going to recognise the place because it's, as you two have just said, it's a totally different city, isn't it? I mean, it's completely changed to the point where, I think fans of opposition clubs used to come up here for a weekend away, but they'd stop in Newcastle. They wouldn't stop in Sunderland. And I think now you're going to have people coming along to the Stadium of Light. They'll see what's going on around the city centre. They'll see the new footbridge, which we'll get onto, all that sort of thing in a bit. But they're going to see Sunderland and from a totally different viewpoint, aren't they? And I think that's the way even people within the city in the surrounding areas are looking at Sunderland now and going, bloody hell, it's really on the up.
Yeah, it's like I say, the investment that we've had both in private and public sectors has been really sort of. We just want to keep that momentum going, want to keep people focused, want to keep bringing people in. One of the big ones for me was when Jatco invested next to Nissan. They opened their first £50 million plant. The Japanese contingent came over. We met with them. They stayed in Sunderland and went to the stables with them. And it was great to be able to entertain that high-quality company coming into Sunderland, and also the conversations when you get talking. I mean, football just unites people wherever you are from the world, regardless of my broad Macam accent, and I'm trying to understand this. But as soon as we start talking about football and Sunderland and the Premier League, they mentioned obviously Brighton and the Japanese player there, is it Mitomo?
Yeah.
And they were saying obviously it'd be great if you did get promoted and we're in the city and we'll play at Brighton and we can come along to the game and see our Japanese international player play. And it was all those type of conversations which just, you see, it just raises the bar for us as a city and as a football club as well.
The company you mentioned, Kevin, are they part of IAMP, or is that a separate firm that's coming in?
They'll be located on the IAMP,
Yeah. I think that's a big factor in what's going to drive Sunderland and Washington and the whole city forward, because I believe there's potentially going to be one of the new metro stations going in there. There's housing applications going in. So you bring in these top quality firms in with top quality jobs. That's a big step forward for the city, I think.
Yeah. I mean, keeping people, graduates in the city, living and working, and obviously having that cultural offer for them to obviously enjoy the spare time and free time in the city as well.
There's also, if I'm just off the top of my head looking around the city now, things kicking off. If I was driving into the city now, first thing which your eyes are drawn to is a new footbridge, which is, as you mentioned before, the Rugby World Cup, the Women's Rugby World Cup. If I'm right in thinking, is the sort of opening ceremony launch for the footbridge still scheduled for around the time of the game at the Stadium of Light?
It's still due to be completed early August. So obviously, we want a tight time frame, but at the moment, it should be ready for that on the 22nd of August. Yeah.
That's going to make a huge difference just for everybody, isn't it? That footbridge. I mean, it probably sounds daft to anyone who's listening who's not from Sunderland, thinking it's only a footbridge, but it's not, because it's going to provide that link from Wearmouth up to the city centre. That's, it's going to shave a hell of a lot of time off people who want to commute in and out the city to the stadium, isn't it? I mean, it's going to make a massive difference.
Yeah, visually it'll be fantastic. I mean, the first game in the Premier League, hopefully at home, and obviously with all those red and white strips making their way from the city centre, Cllr over to the stadium. It's a total new fan experience, I think, is what David Bruce is sort of labelling as, and we're trying to class as our own Wembley way. When you see the view from the Cllr right across the footbridge and past the stables, and you can see the stadium behind that, it really is sort of our own sort of Wembley way experience for fans coming in, is we're trying to package it up for, and I can't wait just to see all those fans crossing the bridge and the red and white strips and the flags for that first Premier League game. It'll be brilliant.
I was only at Sheepfolds at the weekend, and even since sort of the end of last season, a lot of buildings have come down. The whole area has been cleaned up, and all of a sudden it just looks like a different place. Like Sheepfolds leading into the stadium now. I mean, people who've not been to the area for even a couple of months might not have seen it, because Sheepfolds was quite blocked in, wasn't it? You had to kind of go around and in to get into it. Whereas now it's once that footbridge is open, it's gonna open it right into the stadium area, and I can't wait to see it. I don't know about you, Andrew, but it's going to make a huge difference to fans.
Oh, without doubt. I mean, round there is buzzing at the moment. Yeah. And like you say, we've got the Rugby World Cup coming along. I've got tickets for that. I cannot wait. I just think everybody's going to be coming along. It's going to be an exciting time. One of the developments around there that I think is quite interesting is the construction college, that's it. Is that skill? It's like a skills academy, isn't it? I think.
Yeah, housing, constructions, and skills academy. Yeah.
Yeah, I think again that's a really important step, and that whole area, it's going to be buzzing, because you've got the sheepfolds, you've got that academy, you're going to have housing, and then there's this link of people coming from the city towards the stadium. I think it looks brilliant. It's going to be amazing. There's the park as well. I think the work started on the park round there as well. So, there's going to be a bit of greenery around there. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah, Riverside Park down from the Eye Infirmary, work started there. So again, that'll provide that open public space for people to go and enjoy as well, right on the Riverside.
I could be wrong. I thought they were going to do some on the other side as well at the stadium, but I might have mixed me developments up there.
No, I mean, once you get past over the footbridge and past the stables, there'll be a new public realm space, which is what they're working on now. So there'll be a footpath going down to the Riverside itself, but there'll be a new sort of subway underneath, which will be all public realm, and open up as you come out to the stadium corner, really, where the main stand is. Yeah.
It
Good enough.
Stand there, I should say. Yeah.
It's felt like a long time coming, all of this, though, hasn't it, Kevin? It's for as long as I can remember, even the stadium light's been there since 1997. All that land around the stadium is just I think fans have been looking at it and going, why is nothing happened to this point? It does feel like it has been a long time coming. We're finally getting somewhere with all of this.
Yeah, obviously, long before my time, I know Tesco's owned the land on the other side of the river. There's a lot of legal ramifications in terms of what they want to do with the land. But now we've got full control. We're motoring on them. We've got the momentum now. I think the first two phases for the housing on the sheepfolds is being confirmed. So we just really want to just keep that going and keep that focus, because what we can see now is not just some sort of master plan CGI that people have been promised in the past. People are actually living through and can see the buildings going up, the cranes in the ground. So we can see it for ourselves that the regeneration is taking place. It's not just something that people can see in terms of a computer digital image. We're all living through it, which is brilliant.
I think you're dead right there. It's not just plans on a piece of paper now. I was talking to somebody yesterday who works for one of the housing companies, which I think has won one of the sheepfolds contracts, and they can't wait to get involved. They're a big company that they're producing nice houses, and they want to be in Sunderland because they can see that's going to be an area where they're going to have customers. They're going to have people desperate to buy homes off them. It's not just a kind of, this is what we hope to happen. This is actually taking place now, and people are getting on board all the time.
Yeah. I mean, it's classed as the most ambitious urban regeneration project in the UK. I mean, I think it's already had over £650 million worth of investment from both public and private sector. And it's already been named Best Place for Progress in 2025, I think. So it's winning awards. It's got that sort of, not just the North East focus, but national focus. And we want to just keep that going as long as we possibly can.
Definitely. Do you think, though, that there's parallels with the city and the club at the moment? Because I think there's been times in the past where the club haven't been quite where they wanted to be. But again, there's a lot of planning for the future. There's a lot of things happening within Sunderland, the team, and the area where people are excited about what's coming in the next few years.
Yeah, I mean, I think that, like I say, that playoff final victory couldn't have come at a better time for us as a city. It just really, I don't want to sort of say the fortunes of the football club and the city council are tied in terms of investment, but it does certainly feel that moment. I mean, at Wembley, it took, obviously when Watson scored was just unbelievable, and it's the hours afterwards when you start thinking about the bigger ramifications and things and stuff, and how massive it's going to be. I mean, I know the club, we've got a great partnership with them, as well as other businesses right across the city centre. And I met with Dennis Stewart actually last year, who, when the Etihad was first built, he worked with them quite a bit in terms of not just the stadium, but around the stadium itself in terms of regeneration. And he hadn't been in the city for 2 or 3 seasons. And I think the last time he came, the Maitland Faber building was just derelict land. So when I came and met him, he was just really impressed with what was going on. And he just kept saying, you just need to keep this momentum going as long as you possibly can, and use everything you possibly can in terms of the football club and where it's at, and the additional fans it's going to bring in, the additional folks it's going to bring to the city. And we just need to really capture that as best as we possibly can, for the benefit of everyone in Sunderland, really, yeah.
Yeah. It's often said, isn't it, that the football club's the beating heart of the city. And I think that's true. You know, if the football club are doing well, everybody seems to do well. The businesses around the stadium do well. The pubs, the shops, the cafes, the sandwich vans on a match day. You know, all these little things, they do add up when the football club are doing well on the pitch.
Definitely. I mean, obviously, we're going to see higher attendances at the stadium. I'm sure we'll be close to 45,000, 46,000 every game now. So more footfall of people coming in. But yeah, certainly even just that feeling of sort of joy and the fact that we're a Premier League club again. And I go back to when the stadium first opened, and there seemed to be that really big connection between the fans and the club. And I think we've had it in fits and starts since then, when we had Peter Reid there as manager and when the Premier League finished 7th and things. And I really feel like we've got that back again at the moment, and really feel that togetherness between the fans, the club, and obviously the city as well moving forward. It just really feels really strong at the moment.
I agree. I think as well, a big difference now is you've got players who are wanting to be in the area. They're having a connection to the club. They're having a connection to the city. You've got 1 or 2 players who I know live in the city or live around the city. You know, a couple of weeks ago, I think I saw Job and Jude Bellingham were in the Stack down on the seafront. These are not players who are just taking the money and running off. These are players who are seeing, Sunderland's a place I want to live. I want to have my kids here. And yeah, it's all about building that momentum and everybody all pulling in the right direction and all wanting to be part of it.
Yeah, I think one of the things we probably haven't touched on yet as well, which is sort of outside that Riverside Sunderland radius, but the Crownwork Studios would be another massive employment opportunity, not just for people in Sunderland, and the knock-on effect it has on the economy and other jobs outside of the sort of film and TV industry, but across the North East. And again, just another massive focus on Sunderland that we'll have that on our banks of the River Wye.
Well, it's good as well because I think in the past, people have maybe incorrectly just gone, oh, Sunderland, oh, they've only got a football team, there's nothing else happening there. Now, the team is a big part of the city, but like you say, we're getting focus for other things. I mean, that film studios isn't just some sort of daft laugh. This is serious people bringing in serious investment into the area.
Yeah, definitely. And I say that the jobs it'll have on it, like a generational transformation that we're going through at the moment. And I just can't wait to see that sort of built up from the ground as well. And we're going to need probably more hotels. There's going to be more use of all the auxiliary type of jobs as well, taxis, and it's going to have a knock-on effect across the city in terms of income generation as well.
And Tom Cruise turning up at the Stadium of Light on a Saturday on his day off.
Is he going to play Reggie? Is he in the?
Yeah.
I drive past the site of the film studios almost every day on my way in and out of work, and it's great. Even just now, they're putting the groundwork in now, and there's the piles of rubble everywhere. Just because when the bridge opened, what was that? 6 years ago now, something like that. 6-7 years ago.
2000. I think, wasn't it? Yeah, I mean, obviously the area around it completely undeveloped, and all of a sudden now you're seeing this pop up, and it's quite exciting. Like,
I'm glad you touched on the area around there, Gav, because I get on my high horse about this one. I remember when the bridge was built in it's called the Strategic Transport Corridor. There was a lot of people saying, well, why are you putting a bridge there? But the proof's in the pudding. You've now got the port of Sunderland because of improved connectivity from the bridge and the roads. They're winning big contract. You've now got a film studios popping up there. Again, it's a sign that people are sitting down, thinking about what's coming, thinking about the future. And a bit like the team when they're bringing through all these young players, they're trying to work out what's down the line and put things in place now, which unlocks all of these projects in the future.
Yeah. And there's that link as well between the film studio and the club, isn't there? Because, of course, Forward 73 have got a big hand in all of that. And Forward 73 were the production company who produced the Netflix series, Sun Until I Die, which, might not be, for Sunderland fans, might not be the easiest of watches. But, I mean, you can reflect back on that and think that brought a lot of eyeballs to Sunderland, didn't it, Kevin? All of that sort of thing. Like, we're talking about 7-8 years ago when filming started for that thing. 7-8 years down the line, Forward 73 are behind this huge film studio, which is going to appear on the banks of the Wear. I mean, it is all linked.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the footage they used, not just around the club, but the shots of the city, the seafront, and the drone shots of you could see the regeneration taking place that time when you're on the Vork site and things as well. So it just gives you that focus and that wider reach to a larger population worldwide.
Yeah. So for anybody who's listening, I know we've touched on quite a few of them here, and I'm not expecting you to be able to give a full rundown of what's going on. But I mean, immediate term, anyways. We talked about the footbridge, the studios which are currently underway down Pallion. But for anybody who's coming into the city, perhaps for the start of the season and haven't been for a little while, what other things are kicking off at the minute? What sort of things are we expecting in the next 2 to 3 years to start appearing all over the city centre?
Well, right on Cllr Square itself, you've got Culture House. You've got the eye infirmary, which is great that we've kept that sort of high quality eye hospital within the city. We've always had that history of, and I think it's the only one outside of London which will specialise in that type of treatment. So you're going to have a world class hospital right on Riverside, Sunderland. There's obviously more housing going to be coming through as we branch out across to Farringdon Row, down towards obviously the Crownwork Studio site itself. Sheepfolds, the housing will start going up there in phases. There'll be more food and beverage offer within Cllr Square itself. The Muddler and the Flower Cafe should be coming on this year. They should be opening. They'll give you another offer, as well as the Botanist and the Cllr Tavern. And then as you sort of branch out further down into Sunnyside, we've got a play strategy down there, which will see some housing going on the vacant land, but also really sort of push some of the independent businesses down there as well, make it a sort of good, vibrant, hip place to be for artists and workshops and things as well. all within just a short walking distance of that city centre offer, really, yeah. So it's that crossover of footfall from a few different areas of the city all coming together, yeah. So it's going to be brilliant.
I like, you touch on the housing there. You've got Villiers Street and Niles Street. I like as well that there seems to be a bit of a forethought with that, in that you're bringing in houses into the city centre, but there's other areas, you know, in Copt Hill, as you're talking about, there's the South Sunderland growth area. There's all these other places which are going to build a different type of house. You've got your nice houses in the city centre, and they're going to attract artists and creative people, but you've got these houses in other parts of the city which are going to be good for young families. They're going to attract people, and they're going to keep people in the city. I think that's really important to how we move forward. Again, you don't want people moving out because they've not got the provision. You want people staying in the area and feeling part of the community.
Yeah, I mean, it's having that broad housing type, isn't it? So you're catering for everyone. That's what we're keen to make sure we focus on. And meeting with businesses who, even around that sort of TV film industry type of area, I met with them last year who, even before the Crownwork Studio site had been sort of approved of planning, that wanted to move to Sunderland. And I met with them, and they were from London originally, and they were just blown away by the people, the warmth and welcome that they'd received. And they wanted to be part of it. They wanted to be in Sunderland, and now they're even working with the universities, speaking to people who are going to graduate, how they can get involved with their company. And it's capturing those people who might have then moved away out of the area and gone to London or gone somewhere else, whereas they can actually stay and live in Sunderland and work in Sunderland as well. So just all those little stories that come through as you're meeting, and you can feel that sort of energy and passion around the city at the moment.
Might sell a few extra season tickets as well with all these people moving into the area.
I'm sure, yeah, certainly when all the houses are on sheepfolds, there'll be plenty of people there just on the doorstep stepping into the stadium. So yeah,
it's good now. And obviously, we've thought a lot about the new things popping up around the city, but it's not just new buildings which have been given a new lease of life or a lease of life. You know, you go into the city now, you look at some of the pubs and the listed buildings which have seen significant investment. I mean, the Dun Cow is a thing of beauty from the outside. I absolutely love that pub, but it's one of many, isn't it, Andrew? When you look around the city centre now, I mean, the Bridge Hotel Vaults is recently opened, and that's been given a new lease of life. But these old buildings, which deserve attention and focus and investment, have been given it now.
Yeah, and I mean, how long have you got? Because you've mentioned the Dun Cow. I could talk about the Dun Cow for ages. Yeah, there are some beautiful buildings in Sunderland. We're making the most of them. And again, as Kevin said, it's about building different layers, different things for different types of people to do. The Ship Isis, that's another beautiful building. It's a fantastic pub. And I know people will go in there who are not from the area. They're blown away by it.
Yeah. So I watched a video yesterday of a guy who does reviews of city centres pubs, and he did a pub crawl in Sunderland, and he went on a Wednesday afternoon. It's been doing the rounds on social media, so people might have seen it, but if not, I'll link it up on our social media. But this guy's from Nottingham, I think, drove up to Sunderland, stopped in the Premier Inn in the city centre, or the Travel Lodge, I think it was, and he went on a Wednesday afternoon pub crawl. He went around about 25 pubs. Don't know, he was sober by the end of it. But he was absolutely blown away, not just by the people. He couldn't believe how friendly the people were. He went into Blandford and said, that's the friendliest pub I've ever been in, you know. But he went around the other pubs in the city centre, and he was absolutely blown away by the Dun Cow, the Ship Isis. He's like, I can't believe I've never been here before. Sunderland's a hidden gem. And that's the impression people are going to get when they come here.
Without doubt. And again, what a great way to get somebody into the area. Like you say, quality pubs, couple of nice restaurants, you know, the fire station does good food. Uh-huh. So you can see people who want to come into Sunderland, have a couple of drinks, maybe they go to the Empire or see something at the fire station. Again, those people are going to go away saying, Sunderland's canny, we want to go again. That's brilliant. And as well as locals, that's what you want to do. You don't want to have to be do we have to go out of town? You want to be able to jump on a bus or get a taxi or whatever and have a good quality night, half an hour from your house. It's brilliant.
Yeah, I think obviously one of the things we probably haven't touched on, which is outside City, is the regeneration on the seafront that we've gone through over. I mean, we really have booked the trend nationally in terms of
unbelievable.
The regeneration of the seafront, and people are looking at us and saying, how have you done? I mean, I think there's £30 million worth of private investment now is coming to the seafront. You're talking about like the grade 2 listed buildings we've done in the city centre in terms of the fire station, but the tram shelter at Seaburn as well, which is, I mean, the transformation there is just absolutely amazing what they've done. And now they're opening longer, they're employing more staff. So that's seafront offer that we've got unique as a city as well. It's sort of we're just moving that across to the city centre and linking it all up.
Yeah,
which is,
just on that, and this is probably an extreme example, but I went on a weekend away about 6-7 weeks ago to Blackpool, right? Blackpool, which is obviously famed for its seafront and it's sort of its culture as a destination that people go to, even going back sort of 70, 80, 90 years. Blackpool, I mean, we are very, very lucky. That's all I'll say, because that place is run down, dropping to bits. You come back to our seafront, you see that, and it's unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable. I had family on my missus's side. They come a couple of weekends ago, and they stayed at the at an Airbnb down Roker, and they'd never been to Sunderland, never seen it before, and they were absolutely blown away. They couldn't believe it. They were like, "Why have we never been here before? We've been all the way up to Northumberland. We've been down to Scarborough. We've been to all these other seaside destinations down the east coast of the north of England, and we've never been here. Why?" And honestly, I think that's what's happening. People are just getting their eyes open to it. They're seeing our seafront. I mean, you mentioned it before about some of the players who are actually living their lives down there now. Some of the footballers who probably, before they came to Sunderland, probably didn't even know we had a beat. But it is a jewel in the crown, isn't it? I think it's fair to say that our seafront is something we should really, really be proud of, Andrew.
Oh, definitely. It's always been a place that I've enjoyed going to, but over the last few years, it's just gone another level. I think what you've got is you've got the natural side of it, the sea and the sand and what have you, but you are now capitalising on that with lots of nice places. And again, the tram shelter you mentioned, that's not just some cheap place turning out pints for like you say in some other towns. That's a top quality venue. You mentioned the Bridge Vaults earlier. I think Vauxhall are doing something down near Roker Park. Again, yeah. These are nice options that are going to complement the seafront. People are going to want to come down there. They're going to walk the dog. They're going to want to have a meal there. It's not about getting gangs of lads coming down on a stag do, making a mess, causing a scene. It's brilliant. I love it. And like I say, Gav, I'm forever bumping into you, walking the dogs and what have you. But that's what you want. You want a place where people can go and enjoy themselves and do something productive with their time.
Yeah, and I think 09's been spotted down there a few times, hasn't he, in the sea?
Saving dogs.
Aye.
He loves it. He absolutely. I mean, he's obviously I could sit all day and talk about Luke 09, but he's a living embodiment of somebody who's just completely embraced the area, Kevin, isn't he? He's, you want all Sunderland players to come to Sunderland, and he absolutely loves it. He's at the beach all the time with his kids and his dog and his family, and like you mentioned, he loves Sunderland. That's what you want, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't realise. Obviously, he played in 5 Wembley finals for the club now, hasn't he? After so not many other players will probably achieve that. But I mean, he epitomises everything we want as fans, isn't he? When that 100% all the time and that passion. He just fits in perfectly, doesn't he, with us in Sunderland? So yeah, it's he's been a great servant for us.
I love that fact. I mean, you can probably tell I'm very pro Sunderland anyway. I've lived here all my life. I love the place. But the fact that we can now attract people from different parts of the world and they're coming here and they're settling, I think that speaks volumes. for the place. And as well, it's not just people from England. We've got foreign players who are, they've lived in completely different parts of the world, but they're coming here and they're being welcomed and they feel at home. And I think that sends out a message about a lot of the culture in Sunderland. People are welcome here and you don't have to be local. You can come here, enjoy yourself. It's brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
And play in front of 40,000 plus fanatical supporters. And I think that Dan Ballard goal for me, when people say, what's your best moment at the stadium? Well, you've seen as a fan. And you're probably just looking at the derby games, aren't you? Defoe's volley and things like that. But to celebrate a goal, I don't think I've ever had that feeling as I had with Dan Ballard. And I was there with my little boys when I was 9. So he started getting going to the games with me at the sort of same age I started going. Was just an unbelievable feeling. I mean, just the relief that it wasn't going to penalties. It was the last kick of the game. You're going to Wembley. I mean, I was trying to have a conversation with him at full time when I went to the toilet before the extra time started. I was saying, look, it might not go our way. It might go to penalties. I was trying to prepare him for the heartache that we've all gone through in the past. And he was like, yeah, I think. And he was the one who was up singing and I'm biting my nails, and just to share that moment with him, and know we're going to Wembley was just, for me, that's probably the best moment I've had at the Stadium of Light since obviously it opened in 97, really, yeah. I don't know about yourself. What do you feel yourself?
I've said that a few times recently because we did a podcast last week doing our goal of the season, and I had the Ballard header in, I think I said third, but that's in terms of overall quality of goal and things like that. In terms of moments, Jesus, I don't think even the Watts, I said this last week, even the Watson goal at Wembley, as good as that felt, I don't think I felt as elated as I did at the final whistle when Ballard had scored that header, because it was again, it was like we were in our stadium. That was a big thing for me because I've seen so many bad moments. You mentioned your son there; he's 9-year-old. He's only ever really known Sunderland winning games of football, So that's going to be some adjustment next season for the young fans his age who've been following the club from sort of League One onwards, where even if it wasn't the best quality of football, we've won a lot of games, right? So, all of a sudden we're going to be going into the big time, and they're going to see, the names that they're all familiar with from playing Football Manager and FIFA and whatever else. And, you're going to have the likes of Haaland turning up and Salah and Van Dijk and all these world-class footballers coming to Sunderland. But I think for young fans, there's probably not a better time to get on board. I've talked about this recently with me. When I was your son's age, I was watching Kevin Phillips and Niall Quinn. And I still think now, like, I didn't have a better grounding. That's what got me hooked. And for your son, I imagine you can attest to this, or certainly, tell us about it. Seeing the likes of Luke O'Nien and Dan Ballard and lads not much older than him, the likes of Chris Rigg and Tommy Watson, who are from the area, representing their football club on the big stage. Anthony Patterson making world-class saves and getting man in the match. A lad from the area. The captain of the team, Dan Neal, who's came through the Sun Academy. Honestly, I think we are the club of the youth now. I do. I don't care what's going on up the road. I think we are the club of the youth. Young fans there's not a better time to be a Sunderland fan than right now.
No, definitely. And you say to have that experience of watching those world-class players at the stadium and seeing them in that close proximity is only going to encourage the players young players to play and get better and learn and things as well over the years as they grow. So it's an amazing opportunity, like you say, for young fans to come down now and see those world-class players come and compete against us.
Dead right. I think as well, because I take my daughters to the games and my 2 nieces, the fact that some of these lads can be good role models. Just saying to my youngest niece, well, Dan Ballard scored that goal. He's had to train, he's had to eat right, he's had to look after himself. You can use that and encourage your kids to hopefully pick up good habits and what have you. You want to be able to see these lads doing well for themselves, doing well for the club, and you could say, listen, they're no different to us. They've worked hard, they've got a skill and they've honed it. You can do the same. I appreciate what you said earlier, Kevin, about the council need to be careful with being aligned with the results of the football team. But in terms of encouraging children and that type of thing, through the beacon, football can be a positive impact on the public, I think.
Yeah, it's like you say, it's that full package in terms of the lifestyle. It's if you work hard, and they can see it for themselves, as you mentioned, in terms of the players that we've got there, Chris Rigg and all those homegrown players. This is what can be achieved if you work hard and sort of dig in. Yeah, it's this is the level you can get to, and you can go and do that, and you can go and play for Sunderland, and and hopefully we've got a few more young players coming through the system, which will help us over the next few years stay in the Premier League, I suppose, isn't it?
Yeah. Role models are a big thing, Andrew, aren't they? Like Luke O'Nien, I can't think of a better role model for young fans than that lad. Because you listen to him talk, and whenever he's interviewed after games, and I don't think many people have really picked up on this, or certainly not noted it. Think about what's the first thing he normally talks about? His family, his kids, his wife. Really good role model for young people.
Gav, you're spot on. Football has a bad rap, and sometimes people think footballers are just flash, spending money, doing stuff they shouldn't be doing. Whereas, this is a bloke who says, work hard, good things can come in life, and his family are at the centre of things. And this might sound a bit twee. I feel that's common of a lot of people in Sunderland. Family is important to them. Football's important to them. And you can use the club as a kind of a gateway to encourage people to, the foundation of light helps adults, it helps kids with skills and mental health issues and keeping fit. I think it's amazing. And Luke O'Nien, you're dead right, Gav, mate. He embodies all of that. Brilliant.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned the foundation and the beacon before, because I asked you about that, Kevin, just the way that the football club's charity, but obviously they're very separate. They're a fantastic organisation who do so much in the city. We're talking about the redevelopment and all the things that are coming up, but we've already got that. That's there. And as Andrew touched on before, they provide so much to, not just to young people, but older people, to the community. There's so much that we should be proud of in that beacon, I think.
Yeah, it's a fantastic offer for the community, and that's what we want. Those community links for people to come in and feel part of the club, and we want people to be part of the regeneration that's taking place as well. We don't want people looking from the outside looking in as though this isn't for them. Everything that we're doing is for the people of Sunderland, and as you say, the Beacon of Light is a perfect example of that new building, new regeneration next to the stadium, which offers all the things that Andrew's mentioned in terms of that community assistance and opportunities right on the doorstep, which is, I think it's one of the best in the UK. Is it not being labelled as that already in terms of a football club's foundation? So it just shows as a club how much we are linked with the community and how we're all in it together, I suppose, isn't it?
Yeah, you're a big proponent of the foundation, aren't you, Andrew? You've wrote lots of pieces for our website about them and things. You're just a massive fan of what they do over there.
Yeah, I love it. I think it does a lot of things for a lot of different people. But even just as a sports centre, I'm there every week. It's a great facility. I go there, play badminton with my daughter, and all right, she beats us most weeks, which I'm not pleased about. But the venue, it's brilliant. There's always different people coming in and out, lots of different classes and courses, and yeah, you're right, Gav. I love it in there. I think it really speaks well of the city. It does everybody proud.
Yeah,
we had when we done the Freedom of the City for the 1973 team, but we actually held it in the Beacon of Light, which again was just a really nice touch. When it obviously something a bit bigger in size due to the number of players and families and things as well. But it was great to have that occasion in there and bring everyone together under that roof.
Yeah, wouldn't it be nice if in 5-10 years we're giving Freedom of the City to some of the current players for winning something major? It would be amazing, wouldn't it? But yeah, I could go on and on and on talking about Sunderland in the city and the team, as I do. That's why we do this podcast every single day. But sure people listening can tell we're all so proud of everything which is going on now. I mean, I mentioned it before, Kevin, before we round off here. In the short term, the things which are kicking off when people come to the city. What's the long term view then? 10 years from now, what will Sunderland look like in your eyes?
In 10 years' time, I mean, the plan is what we're doing now. There'll be more housing. There'll be more people living within the city centre. There'll be more people working in the city centre in high quality jobs. We've got the office spaces now with Maitland Faber, the Beam, and also that cultural leisure opportunities that people have in the city in terms of Riverside Park, a place to come and live, to work, and obviously have your leisure time and play as well. There'll be opportunities open for everyone. We've already mentioned CHIT-CHAT in terms of the construction and skills academy, that people will be able to transfer those skills possibly into other building sets for TV and film productions at the Crownworks Studios. The university's obviously now grown in terms of students coming in for medical degrees, and that links in with the eye hospital. And we really have got a really connective city centre which is going to play into everything that we need in terms of education, jobs, living, and it'll be great as we see those houses go up and push up down to Fountain Row. So yeah, it's just going to be a really exciting time as we see more things come up from the ground over the next sort of 5 to 10 years as well. And it's something I'm keen that we don't rest on our laurels. We've got this far now, and I really want to keep pushing on and progressing it, and maybe increasing that radius of the city centre even further. So yeah, and hopefully we might see Sunderland challenging for the Premier League that time. Maybe win a trophy, you never know. It's I hope the next time we're back at Wembley is when we're in an FA Cup final or a League Cup final. And I was just saying this the other day, a couple of mates, so once you're there in the Premier League and you get there and stay there, then you have got the opportunity to get the later stages of cup competitions. Look at Crystal Palace.
Yeah.
Won the FA Cup. Yeah, I'm not mentioning the other cup, but I'll mention Crystal. It gives you the opportunity to go and do that and then play in Europe, and then you go to another level again. So yeah, I just really hope over the next 5 to 10 years we can stay as a Premier League club. We can still see the regeneration continuing. And as Dennis Stewart said, you just need to keep that momentum going as long as you possibly can. And it's for the benefit of everyone in Sunderland.
Yeah, and a young and vibrant football club, a vibrant city, Andrew. That's what we're all hoping for, where we can continue to grow together. I mean, if we're talking about what's the city going to look like in 10 years' time, what's the football club going to look like in 10 years' time? I think the only way is up for me. We've got to park anybody who's, we've all got it. We've all got that inherent pessimism that comes with being a Sunderland fan. And I honestly believe that's probably come from the city not being in a great place for so long, being a run-down city that wasn't looked after and wasn't loved as much as it should have been. And the football club and the city are now in a really good place, and I just only see good things going forward. I don't see any point in dwelling on negativity of the past. I think everything about Sunderland, we should all be so proud of what we've got and so proud of where we're going from here.
Without doubt. I mean, I work for the council, so it probably sounds as if I'm just saying this to be well in with me bosses. But some of the things Kevin's saying there, it's music to my ears. I love the place. I've lived here all my life. I love the way it's going. Like you say, Gav, there's sometimes pessimism about certain things, but I don't think what has and hasn't happened in the past needs to matter now. There's plans in place for the city. There's plans in place for the club as well. And Kevin's mentioned trophies. I would love us to win a trophy. I accept, though, the football doesn't always work like that. You can't guarantee trophies. You can't guarantee results. But the thing the club is doing, the thing the city is doing, is giving itself the best chance of these things happening. Yeah, I'm excited. I cannot wait for next season. I'm a lot more optimistic than some people. And the word you said there, Gav, a couple of times, it's about being proud. And at the moment, I can be proud. I can say I support Sunderland, and I'm pleased to support Sunderland. They're not a laughing stock like they were on Netflix. They're a team who people look at and think, there's some talent there. I love that. And I love the fact that they're part of the community. I mean, I saw the last couple of days the club were awarded some sort of commendation for work with show racism, the red card. All of that is fantastic to me, because to me, I do think the two things are linked, and I love seeing everybody going forward together. It's brilliant where we're at.
Yeah. They were put into the Hall of Fame for one of the clubs for the work with show racism, red card. Yeah,
I think that's important, because again, you can't always guarantee results, but a football club is part of the community. It can have an important voice on social issues like that, and I'm chuffed to bits when the club have something to do with show racism, the red card, or they dedicate a match to pride. All of that is brilliant, and again, I think it shows the image of Sunderland that I want to promote and I want my kids to grow up with.
Yeah, it certainly gives you the power to bring people together under, as I mentioned, the Japanese contingent that came over, and it's one thing that links us all as human beings, isn't it, that we can easily talk about is football. Wherever you are in the world, it's just that great conversation starter that you can use, and just like I say, now with that, hopefully more of a global city and now with a global focus in terms of our Premier League status as well, and long may that continue.
Yeah. Well, I think we'll have to grab you back for a chat somewhere during the season where we can hopefully be talking about Sunderland doing very well in the Premier League, and we can catch up on where things are at in the city centre and stuff. It's been an absolute pleasure, Kevin. Thank you very much for joining us on the show. It's been great. Thank you very much.
Well, props. Thank you again for the invite. It's been really good. Really enjoyed it.
Yeah, and thank you, Andrew. Been great, mate. I can tell you're beaming with pride. You're going to go and run through a red and white brick wall now, aren't you? I can just tell.
Yeah, I do. I love it. And like I say, this was up my street. As soon as you said Kevin was coming on, I thought, I like the sound of this. I'll get involved.
Brilliant. Well, thank you once again, lads, and thank you to the listeners. As always, we've got loads on the Roker Report website and also on the Howie of the podcast feeds this week. Pods every single day as we lead up to pre-season. We aren't going anywhere. We've got loads to talk about. So make sure you catch up on all the interviews and chats we've had this week. We've got more to come over the coming days. So yes, get subscribed if you're not already. If you're new to us, we are here every single day, as I say, bringing you Sunderland AFC content. Thanks again to the listeners. We'll catch you on the next one, and with the lads.
This podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.